Good evening, everybody, and thank you for joining me for another session of the PPP Plays. It is such a privilege to have you with me tonight, and I am looking forward to doing some tabletop stuff tonight. In fact, I think we're going to go back to something we did on the very first night of PPP Plays. We're going to build some Legos, specifically in honor of Aragorn's birthday. March 1st is his birthday. We're going to build Aragorn and Arwen. And if we're lucky and have time, let me reach over here. I'm not sure about this. This is the Nazgul on a Fell Beast. This was a special gift with purchase only. And something I found out today as I was researching this. So I got this when I ordered the Barad-dûr Tower kit. And I ordered that the day that it released for IP members. And this was, if you purchase it during that first June 1st through 7th, while supply lasts, they give you a free Fell Beast. Apparently, they ran out in the first day, and I looked on eBay and found that this piece, which isn't a very big kit, as you can tell, it's only 269 pieces, retails on eBay for anywhere from 100 to 150 bucks. So I'm not 100% sure that I'm going to open this one up, but we'll see about that. In the meantime, we're definitely going to build this tonight. In the meantime, before I start, how's everybody doing? I mean, did you all enjoy the super long stream that we had last week, streaming Lord of the Rings online? Fortunately, Tari Malalinwe, this one is not expensive. You can usually get this for like 20 bucks. But yeah, the big ones definitely do. Let's see. I'm just checking real quick to see Katie getting. Oh, I forgot about the chat overlay. There we go. Now the folks on Twitch can see what the folks on YouTube are saying, and the folks on YouTube can see what the folks on Twitch. And I can see all of the things you're saying. Gary, I'm sorry you can't stay, but hello. Thanks for popping by. Yeah. And let's see who else is here. I understand there's a birthday in the chat. Bonnie, happy birthday. And no, I will not be singing, but happy birthday to you nonetheless. It's Aragorn's birthday, or at least it was a couple of days ago. But it's your birthday today, if I'm not mistaken. So happy birthday. Let's see here. Oh, before I begin, let me swap over to the other camera here. For your birthday, of course I should. Let's see. I want to also move this to a different corner here. How do I do that again? I kind of forget how to do that. There we go. I want to move the picture in picture. All right. So for those of you who enjoy watching my streams of the Lord of the Rings online, just a little heads up. The Lord of the Rings online folks are creating new 64-bit servers. Those of you who are in the game understand what's going on. You've been seeing the news. The PPP kinship and all of my characters will be moving from Landreval, the server that I've been on since I started in 2017 or 2018. And we are all moving over to Peregrine. Now, for those who are interested, we also have a PPP kinship. And Katie will be posting the link to our Discord there, and you can always join the kinship. If you're already in, the transfer should make it nice and painless. You'll be over, and once you come over, you'll be back in the kin. If for some reason that hasn't, then we'll get you a new invite. But yeah, definitely on that. Let's see. Trying to see if there's anything else going on here. Thank you, Katie, for posting that link to the Discord for our PPP kinship on Lord of the Rings Online. So join us again this coming Friday at 6 p.m. Pacific, when I will be streaming the adventures of Hilbur and the River Hobbit on Peregrine, hopefully, assuming that the transfer has finally happened successfully. I know there have been some hiccups today. In the meantime, it's time for some Legos. Let's build. And by the way, anybody has any questions about Aragorn and Arwen, the other interesting thing about this is that today I was just writing episode 367, which will be coming out, like a month and a half. And and that's going to be the second of two episodes on Aragorn and Arwen in the appendices. Appendix A15 is excitingly named, the tale of Aragorn and Arwen, or as the story says, here follows a part of the tale of Aragorn and Arwen. And we get a chance to dive a little bit into the peoples of Middle Earth and learn a little bit more about what was not originally included and what Tolkien wanted to do. So join me for that, and we'll definitely explore more. But in the meantime, because that's all fresh in my mind, if you have questions on the appendix, on the story of the tale of Aragorn and Arwen, just throw those questions in the chat, and I'll be happy to talk about Aragorn and Arwen in there. So in the meantime, let's open these things up. And as you all know, because you've seen me do this before, I will inevitably, he says, sort these by color as we're talking. So, because that's what I do. Whoa, little guy, come back here. I almost lost an eye. Aragorn almost became a pirate. Arg, Arwen. Arwen. And Elrond says, she will not be wed to anyone less than the king of Gondor and Arnor. These are my rules. Aren't they more like guidelines? That's all what would have happened if he'd lost his eye. Higgy Baby, I have not yet gotten into the Lord of the Rings Magic the Gathering set. I'm waiting to play the game with somebody who's got some experience so that I can kind of comment on the cards and their usefulness as I open the packs. I see Katie is shocked that I told a pun. She should know better than to be shocked by such a thing. All right. The odd colored things that, as we know from experience, are almost certainly going to be parts that are on the inside of the build. Ooh, silver. Shiny silver. Okay. Sorting through. Silver different from gray. I think we can safely put the sword. Arnor. Very good. I stand corrected. It would be the kingdom of Arnor. The strawberry and cream cider from Serpentine Cider? I don't see why not. I mean, really, it's always a time for a good cider. And so folks, I'll just tell you all, the Serpentine Cider event went really nicely the other night. I sold maybe just a handful of books, but more than that, I got to visit with a lot of our PPP people and a lot of new folks as well, folks who were really interested in hearing more about the show. Maybe not the puns. I think maybe that might have been a little optimistic. But folks who enjoyed hanging out and talking Tolkien. It was a very crowded evening as we watched the Return of the King in honor of Aragorn's birthday. All right. We're sorting. We're making progress. Any other questions besides whether you should drink the straw cream cider? Because really, you're only going to get one answer, and it's a short answer. Most of your puns. That's fair. That's fair. I'll accept that. Oh, don't tease me. A trilogy about the founding of Arnor? I mean, it's got to include the founding of Gondor too. That would be fantastic. The beginning of the Third Age. Oh, or actually the end of the second. Sorry, the end of the second, as Elendil founds the kingdoms in exile. Oh man, that would be fantastic. All right. Casting choices for that could be interesting. Who are they going to find that's like 8 foot tall to play Elendil? Glorfindel. No, he is over in the corner where let's see who else is over there. Tom Bombadil, Erkenbrand, and Baragond. Artist, welcome back. Good to see you again. It is nice that they make it sort of clear that these pieces that are cuttered like this will not be on the outside of this model, so I can sort them a little different. Ooh, what would be my dream Lego set? Oh, my dream Lego set. You know, I hope that they re-release Helm's Deep. I really, really do. I think that would be a fantastic build. I know it's technically out there if somebody's willing to pay a ridiculous amount of money on eBay, but I am not, alas. So, but that would be one piece, one dream model. I'm looking forward to building the Barad-dûr kit and the Rivendell kit. If for no other reason than the really cool Light My Bricks stuff that I got to enhance them. That's going to be a lot of fun. Being able to bring Rivendell to light with to life with some lights. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. What am I building tonight, Joanna? I'm building in honor of Aragorn's birthday, which is March 1st. I'm building Aragorn and Arwen, and we're starting with Aragorn. Let's take a look here and see where we start. Let's see. I'm going to move some of these around. I want to make sure that you all can see what I'm doing. So part of the strategy here is figuring out, well, how to accomplish that, since the screen doesn't go much further down than this. Actually, I guess I can always make it go that way, can't I? Whoa, we can go out a little bit. There we go. Lloyd Owen doesn't fit the 8-foot tall mold, but he would make a good Aragorn. Okay. Huh. Oh. Oh, thought I missed the piece. It's right here. All right. One of these, one of these. Boom, boom. Then we need this and one of these. See, the problem here is you're not really able to get a close-up look on what I'm building, but at least you can see the whole thing. We'll start with that. All right. One of these funky little pieces goes here. And sure enough, sort of the inner parts of the model that will never be exposed go here. So we get two more these little guys. And two of these. Which direction do the pegs face? They face outward. Okay. Does the PPP have plans for Tolkien Reading Day, Miriam? Indeed, it does. We have an episode releasing that Sunday, which I think is the 23rd, in honor of Tolkien Day. And without giving away too many spoilers, let's just say that we found a way within the context of the show itself to demonstrate the theme of fellowship. What was it now? Fellowship and community. And I think everybody's really going to enjoy what that means, what that represents in the episode. So let's see here. I'm missing some of the chats real briefly here. Want to make sure it's gone really quickly. Yeah, definitely. If you're in San Diego, go visit Serpentine Cider. Castle is the idea that Elrond was comforted for the loss of his daughter and sons when he met his wife across the sea. Healthy and whole again. I like the idea. I mean, we're not told a lot about, we're not told anything about his wife or any daughters. I believe we know that he had one, but I don't know for sure. But I certainly like the idea. But the thing is, of course, that men, I'm sorry, Elrond. I'm sorry. I was thinking Elrond. Yes, Elrond. I'm sorry. I thought we were still talking about 8-foot tall Elendil. Thought we were talking about the king of Gondor and Arnor. Yes, I like the idea that having lost Arwen and quite possibly Eladan and Elro here, though, my suspicion is that they followed him because they wouldn't have had a reason to stay and become mortal. But yeah, he would have definitely been comforted with Celebrian's presence. My heart always goes out to Celebrian finding out the news the hard way. Yeah, I mean, that's I can't even imagine. We need to talk, dear. Because she's like, oh, I see Eladan, and there's Elro here. Is Arwen beneath decks? Is she resting? Is she taking a nap? Well, yeah, she's taking a nap of sorts. Um, yeah, Vigo wasn't tall enough. He's supposed to be 7 foot tall. He's supposed to be 6'6" minimum. That's the shortest height that Aragorn would be, is about 6'6". Yeah, all the basketball players are out busy doing something else. Scrolling. I'm going so fast. Yeah, Turgon's right. Not telling Celebrian she's not going to see Arwen is hard. And yep, Matthew, I'm not surprised. Watching while you're waiting for the character transfer service. I've discovered, as you have just now, that I don't really do a good job of doing two things at once. I was supposed to be building this model and I was talking in the chat, but that's all right. All right, we're continuing to build here. Oh, we're building like the middle of his chest here, the part of his armor. Oh, I'm liking this piece. And yes, I got that right. So this the seven stars there. All right. Who am I building tonight, Savelsky? I am building Aragorn and Arwen in honor of Aragorn's birthday on March 1st. All right. So that's step 7. Step 8, we need this piece, and this piece. All right. And what do we do with them? We put them here. Oh, 2 of those pieces. We need 2 of those pieces. We put this one here. And this little guy sticking out right here. All right. Step 9, we get 4 more of those little panels. And they go, obviously pegs out this way. 2, 3, and 4. Yeah. That transfer, for those of you on Lotro, boy, the world transfer has been a thing, hasn't it? It'll get worked out. How snarky are you allowed to be about the comment about my multitasking? It's your job. Gamble all you want. How big is Aragorn's brain? Well, like most of the brains we've discovered so far, it's a 2x2 thick piece. So it's a solid brain. Tried to sell you last time. Well, that's, I guess, an improvement? I'm not sure. All right, 2 more. No, 3 more of those. We're building him tall. Haha, because he should be tall. Somebody else telling Katie what her job is. What is my favorite classic rock band? I could get in trouble here because classic rock, some people would say is classic rock is not. It's such a category that some people don't find. Some people find it very broad, and some people find it very narrow. I would have to apply it very narrowly and say that classic rock, so that's not going to include any 80s rock, as much as I love Foreigner and Kansas and Journey and all. That's not classic rock. That's 80s rock, but it's not classic rock. Classic rock is going to be your Led Zeppelin, your AC/DC. My brain is completely fried on some of these other bands, but I already mentioned my favorite, and that would be AC/DC. Led Zeppelin's a very, very close second. No, Led Zeppelin's my favorite. There are a couple of AC/DC songs I like a lot, but as a whole, I would say Led Zeppelin's my favorite classic rock band. Can someone TLDR the server transfer? I'm going to have to let Katie do that. Spam alert indeed. Yeah. Kansas is 70s, but I just don't know if I'd call it classic rock or more like a, would they be a folk rock maybe? I don't know. I really like them. As you could tell by the titles for the Curie Internet Oral, I mean, 6 episode titles, all pulling Kansas. So I'm trying to do this. Okay, let's build his brain. We're going to build his brain. We got these 2 pieces, his brain, and the other one of these things. All right. So, yeah, up there. I also, but Boston, I guess Boston, because they were in the 70s too, even though they were late 70s. See, that's what I'm talking about. Like, how do you define the genre first? All right. Because it also changes by day. I mean, one day it is, and I'm so sorry. This is a little wobblier than I thought it would be. Um, yeah, I got to figure that out. All right. Yeah, I love Boston. My biggest gripe with Boston is I can't sing along. It's just too high. It's like trying to sing along with Journey. Like, come on, man. I just have to, whatever Steve Perry's singing, I have to sing it an octave lower. Um, 2 of these and 1 of these. All right, so we stack these on top of each other. Then we put this on this. And we put these underneath. Yeah, exactly. Edith might. Oh, Queen. Damn it. You're right. Queen is right up there. They are classic rock. I'd call them classic rock. It's such a tough one because of that. Like bands that were in the 70s, maybe I didn't like all their 70s stuff as much. And I like more of their 80s stuff, but they were still a classic rock band. So yeah, Queen, Led Zeppelin, Kansas, Boston, they're all in there. I mean, the thing is, I don't say Foreigner because they're really 80s. I don't say Journey, same thing. And I don't say Rush, even though they're much favorite than any of those because they're a prog rock band. So I'd have to lump them in the same category as the Who and as Pink Floyd. All right, yeah, More Than a Feeling is fantastic. One of the just absolutely fantastic. All right, so there's the front of that. Yeah, y'all got me started now for sure, 100%. All right, and then 2 more of these. Da, 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 da. So now I'm thinking of all this stuff. Any advice or tips for starting a podcast? Ooh, I love that. That's a great question, artist. Actually, Sabelsky gives you the best advice. Don't stop believing. Um, actually, that's actually really good advice. I know I was trying to be funny, but once you start, just keep on doing it. I think that the advice that I would give is the same advice that I would have given myself and Sean when we started the PPP over 9 years ago, and that is, be patient. Don't go into it expecting success. We didn't. Like I've told everybody all along the way, this is a total surprise to me. Um, do it because you'll love it. Do it because you want to do it. But I will say that if you're trying to achieve any level of success, and that can be defined however you want it to be defined, it can just be defined as consistency or that people like your show or that people just continue to listen and tell others. Then you want to have some consistency. So, like, develop a format or structure and kind of stick to it. Yes, that's also prog rock, though. I'm going to put John. I'm going to put yes in prog rock. Um, and they did. They did have some Tolkien lyrics, not as many as Led Zeppelin or Rush for that matter. Yeah, I think the one challenge you're probably going to run into, artists, is that discussing your favorite band will inevitably mean playing some of that music. You're going to run into some issues there with hosts not willing to allow that to happen because of the copyright issues. Um, I love it. Music nerds. Well, we're just nerds, period. Full stop. All right. Now we're going to set this little chunk of his torso aside, and we're going to build this next part of him, which requires me to pull a part that's so dark I can't tell what it is. It looks like it's brown and flat. There we go. And then 2 of these little pieces. two of the one pegs, one of these, and his eyes, his Aragorn eyes. I think, what do you all think? Should I make him like a little cross-eyed? What about his legs? What about his legs? He doesn't need those. You saw Yes in person? Oh, that is awesome. That is awesome. I've seen Rush in person once, a very long time ago. Um, most of I was not a very big concert goer as a kid. My parents really didn't let me, and so my history in concert going was limited more to what I started doing as a college age kid. So I did attend. I think my favorite concert was 1988 Depeche Mode at the Rose Bowl, and it's the one that they recorded Depeche Mode 101 live at. Um, I've also seen U2 twice as well. I think on Rattle and Hum and Joshua Tree tours. But yeah, definitely very peoply. Yeah, I'm gonna make sure he's cross-eyed. I think that's gonna be a lot of fun. All right. Do hardcore Tolkien nerds get as sniffy over Aragorn's beard as they do about Balrog's wings? Actually, they don't. I think a lot of people honestly didn't know. Well, they couldn't have known until Nature of Middle Earth came out, and we were able to see some of Tolkien's older writings, or writings that were not published. I should say unpublished, not so much older writings, that explained that even a drop of Elvish blood meant that they would be beardless. All right. We're going to make Aragorn just a little wonky-eyed because that's going to be fun. Dream concert is Weird Al. Higgy, I'm glad you have a dream. Keep on dreaming, buddy. Weird Al Yankovic. I mean, he's a genius. Don't get me wrong. He's really a flipping genius, but all right. Okay, now we put this on his body. Right here, covering up the blue and the pink. And there we go. The slightly wonky-eyed. Oh, Timothy. I don't remember that. I must have been he must have fallen or after the show that I saw. Yeah. Oh yeah, that was funny that the gatekeeper's getting mad because Círdan had a beard. Like, oh, they don't know. They don't know that he had the beard for sure. Oh man. Okay. Then we do this sort of we build his brow, his forehead. Hey, Aragorn. Sorry to give you a forehead, but at least it's not a 5-head. See, mine would be another panel like that. All right. Turn it upside down, turn it around. And we do 2 of these, 2 of these, and 2 of these. Broken tooth and a broken foot. That's right. That's right. Okay, so we do this 2 times. And these go hands down here. So these are his hands. For a guy who's 6'6", he's got really short arms. Not going to be playing basketball. This guy, 6'6", just hardly matters. I mean, he's just crippled with that short wingspan. All right. These 2 and this one. And we do this. Looks like, oh, nope. And this way. Part of the fun of building Lego is trying to decipher the visual instructions. Aragorn Russ. I can have my tiny little arms. I can see him now. He's trying to kiss Eric. He's trying to kiss Arwen, and he can't get his arms around her because they're too short. Let's see. Tyrannosaurus Rex. Special guests, Alan's kids. Probably, probably not ever. Tyrannosaurus Rex. That is a worthy. That is a PPP worthy pun for sure. All right. We are now also getting what looks to be maybe his sheath, his sword's sheath. So we need one little a 2-peg, 3-peg. And for those who have short arms like me, because I have them too, I'm sorry for any offense caused. All right. So we take this 2-peg one first, and we put this little guy over it. And put that here. IKEA ain't got nothing on Lego. That is true. Then we put the 3-peg one beneath it. And this piece here. Then put that behind his left hand. Oh, wait. Wrong way. Wrong way. Had it upside down. Yep. Like that. There's his sword sheath. For a second, you thought I said toupee. I hope not. Neanderthal Numenorian start with N. And Atalante and Atlantis sound a lot alike too. Coincidence? Definitely not. Oh, this isn't a sheath. This is like the back end of his robe because we're building another one just like it. So we need this piece, 2 of these corner pieces, and the 3-peg one. Sorry. I'm trying to keep these in the frame too. So we're doing this again. We take the 2-peg and we put this piece here. Okay. Then the 3-peg beneath it. And this piece here. And again, we put that this way. Okay. All right. So there we go with that. I can see Kevin in a toupee. I'm pretty sure Kevin was wearing a toupee all of season 1. At least his season 2 haircut was better. All right. We're building more of his cloak, it looks like. So we're going to use more of these black pieces, not the base. 4 of these. 2, 3, 4. This one flat 2-piece. 2-peg, I mean. This 8-peg. 2 of these 8-pegs, actually. And then these 2, leaving us with those. Okay. He does totally have toupee energy. Maybe this isn't PPP plays. This is PPP toupees. All right. Then we build this underneath, this underneath. Typical cloak building process here. And then create a little 3-dimensionality to it. Add this piece and these. Okay. And then apply that to the base on the back side, even with those. There we go. Nice. Nice. So there's the back of his cape, or his cloak, if you will. Hard to see because it's black. But he's coming along nice. All right. Let's flip this over and see what's next. At the pace we're going, by the way, we are not likely to have to make that decision about whether or not I'm going to build the fell beast and open a box that's worth a lot more than I paid for it, because what I paid for it was nothing, Came with my Barad-dûr set. Okay, two of these, two of these. So much flexing on the collection is I didn't realize until I was getting set up for tonight that it was a piece that or a set that was extraordinarily rare. Apparently, they really did run out of it the day that when I ordered Barad-dûr. By the way, when I said Lego VIP, that means nothing. It means I give them my email address, right? It's like a club membership thing. So when I was buying Lego, my son when he was little, he doesn't really like them very much anymore. I signed up for the Lego VIP, which just means they send me emails about pre-releases before they're available. And so anybody can get one. It doesn't cost anything. So I have the VIP membership. So they allowed me to pre-order the Barad-dûr kit on the first day. And it was all one of these things where for the first week, as long as we have them in stock, you'll get one of these fell beasts, Nazgul on a fell beast, as a gift with purchase. And so when I got my Barad-dûr kit, it came with this kit, but because they were so limited in number, they are selling for 100 to 150 on eBay, when new in a box like that. So I will be breaking the value of that, but I don't know that that matters. Let's put this on. This is sort of the bottom of his front armor. When is a cape a cloak? That is a very good question. He seems to imply the Fellowship has given capes and hoods as if they are separate items. They probably would be separate items, wouldn't they? Wouldn't that make it easier to choose to not wear the hood, but instead of having it dangling in your back like a hoodie, because that might make carrying a pack harder? I don't know. But I think maybe Edith's got it has something to do with sleeves. Tari Melalinwe, Maedhros, it's Maedhros. The AE is pronounced I, so Maedhros. And the DH is pronounced TH, like a soft TH, like there or then, not like throw or thank. So Maedhros. All right, next up is two of these little guys, this one and this one. And these go where on him? Oh, these go on his head. These go on his head. Oh, it's his hair. I'm not used to that because it's not gray. All right. Can't be hair if it's not gray. I was just reading in the Tale of Aragorn and Arwen the part about the I think the beauty of his youth, the vigor of his manhood, and the wisdom and majesty of his age. And I thought, 2 out of 3 ain't bad. All right. 2 of these. Ooh, we're doing the middle part of the emblem thing. So excited about that. And did I? Hold on a minute. I think these are the silver ones. This is when we use the silver pieces. Okay. All right, let's see how to build this little thing that we're doing here. Ah, pages have come undone. Terrible binding in this book. All right. Thank you for the reminder, Katie. Appreciate it. Ooh, I'm really liking this. Oh, it's his crown. Now, of course, this is the movie crown because, as we know, the actual crown of Elendil by this point, the crown of the King of Gondor, was originally the crown of Isildur, or I'm sorry, it was supposed to represent the crown of Anarion. It was just a war helm. And of course, it wasn't the actual helm of Anarion because that was kind of dented. So it was a real war helm. all the way up until King, help me, Alcaran Atanatar II, the Glorious, right? The guy for whom jewels were like pebbles to play with in the streets of Gondor, right? They were super rich by this point. And that's when he made this fancy one that had all these jewels and it had wings that went all the way back. And it was kind of gaudy, actually. So the one they gave him was really nice. And now I feel like he should sing Et Erello something something Utulien. Ah, I got to find that. I love that piece. And I can't believe I had the gall or guts, one or the other, to sing that on the episode when we talked about Aragorn's coronation. There's not much I regret more than that. This side and this side. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Now we're building this piece. Oh, okay. And two of these shiny bits. Okay, so we're going to put that here and here. 29 is one of these. Really do like the use of silver here. This is really cool. This is an interesting piece. It looks like it's asymmetrical so far. Thank you, Sibelski. Et erello ennorenna utulien, sinume maruvan arhildinjar tenambar metta. Oh, absolutely love that. Out of Middle Earth. No, out of shoot. Now I'm trying to remember the actual translation. Out of the great ocean, I've come. Oh, there goes that camera. Hold on a minute. We must be an hour into the show. I still haven't figured out how to fix that. Be right back. All right, we're not even an hour in, so it's definitely random. It definitely must have something to do with overheating. I'm not sure how to fix that. I'll figure it out. Yeah, I think that is very close. Oh, you're talking about my trend. I hope that's close. It's something about out of the great sea I have come, or I am come, um, me and all my heirs to Middle Earth. I can't remember. I can't remember. All right. I do love it though. It's such a beautiful, beautiful oath. Elgato. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, exactly. Until the end of the world. It's an eternal pledge. I just make sure I get it right. Yeah, Elgato is really good stuff. I use their lights. I use you're seeing me now on a face cam. This camera is not an Elgato camera. The camera that's pointing down is a Canon, um, proper small, the newer bodies. I'm so used to DSLRs, right? But they're all mirrorless now. Thank you. Out of the great seat of Middle Earth, I am come. In this place will I abide, and my heirs unto the ending of the world. I got some of those elements. I knew it was out of the great sea. I'm shown up. I'm here. Yo, me. And yeah, unto the ending of the world, me and my heirs. That's such a absolutely stunning. Okay, so this is the side of his crown. That's why it's asymmetrical. So we're building the side of his head, basically, the side of his hair. Getting so much glare off the lights here. It's hard to tell when they illustrate these brown pieces. They're so dark in the illustrations that it's really difficult to see precisely where to put them. So I have to just kind of tilt this. You'll forgive me while I delay that. Okay, it looks like, yep. Oh, fit that in there. Not a job for, you know, thick old hands. I was going to say something about the many hands of the hobbits that went to work at the end after the scouring of the Shire, from the young nimble ones to the something or other. Yeah, that's what comes to mind is all right. This one, here we go. All right. So that's the side of his hair with the side of his crown. Okay. So that's actually Puv. The side of his, there we go. Yeah. Okay. So what we've done is we basically made his hair and the side of his crown. All right. Now we're going to get to do that again for the other side. So I'm going to build another one of these with another pair of these. Less like a failure. You're welcome, John. It's trying to remember things on the fly is always a challenge for me. Um, I do a lot of deep dives, of course. I mean, that's what the show's all about. But it honestly, it means that when I'm not deep diving into that chapter at that moment, it tends to go poof because there's only so much room that I have in my brain. Yep. Twitch might time you out, Edith. I'd forgotten about that. Thank you, John. Appreciate it. How do you spell arthritis? What was that joke? I went to my doctor. I thought I had arthritis. No, I just had early onset rigor mortis. Okay. No, I'm not allowed to say that joke, apparently. Katie keeps me on my toes, that's for sure. Problem is, I stay too long, I get calf cramps. Might be missing. Nope, there it is. Arthur Itis K. Wow. All right. So we do this here. What was that? A wing? It actually is kind of a wing. It's the wing of the crown. And it's also his hair. And frankly, he could use a haircut. He'd probably look good with a little overcut, you know? I mean, maybe I'm partial to the overcut right now. It's just me. Oh. All right. So again, we've made the other side of his hair and crown, and we get to put that on his little head. We are getting closer and closer to King Aragorn. Sapelski. No, the wings are not metaphorical. Tolkien drew them in a letter. That's good stuff, though. All right. What are we building next? I don't know. Let's find out. We'll just set Aragorn down here now. And we'll pull the parts we're supposed to pull. We're supposed to pull a 4x4, a 2x4, two of these little corner pieces, one yellow one that will certainly be internal, two shiny these. I don't know what they're called. I know they have names. This long one and two of the 2-peg 2x1s. All right. So here we go with these. Now that we know that's what's involved in our next step. Looks like we turn this over and put this in the middle. Then these two little 2x1s. Followed by the corner pieces with the corners sort of widening this entire piece to not this, but to this, and then turn it over and put this on top. So where does this go? Oh, it's the back of his head once we put, it's the back of the crown once we put these things on. He really does need a haircut, actually. There must be something that we're going to put here. Aha, sure enough, the very next step on the next page. Oh, I'm liking that. Look at that. Look at that fancy crown right there. There's a fancy crown. Okay. And we're still doing the top of his head. Okay, top of his hair. And then we got to give the man a sword because every king needs a sword. I know. We should start with it over here. And then he can say, but I have a surprise for you. I am not left-handed. Okay. And then we quickly build the base. And I'm waiting to get slammed for the bad Princess Bride joke. It will come. It will come. This is when I'm reminded, must remind you, that I have probably about a 15-20 second lag between what I say and then what I see in the chat, because that's just how the internet works. And that, my friends, is King Erathon's son, Telkantar Elessar. That guy, the king. He's not 87, he's 88. Yeah, he had a birthday on March 1st. Yes. All right. I like this guy, actually. This is a really cool model. And for those of you who weren't with me last time, let me show you real quick. The Gandalf and the Balrog that we built on the first second streams. The Balrog we built without his wings because his wings should be made of shadow. But yeah, you shall not pass. Those were fun. Those were fun. And now we have Aragorn. So, and yes, Miriam, excellent job recognizing my terrible Professor Shippey imitation. All right, moving the spare parts to the side, along with the instruction book for Aragorn. And we should have just enough time to build Arwen. It looks like she's fewer pieces, probably a little less complicated, but let's see. King of the Who? Yeah, the Balrog stream, I think the build was the second one. We were going to try to build him on the first night along with Gandalf, but Gandalf took so long that we ran out of time. I do love doing Gandalf. That's typical Arma to be less complicated. Oh, all right. Time to step into colors. Well, then how'd you become king then? We don't have a king. Just take it in turns. An anarcho-syndicalist commune. We just take it in turns to be an executive of the week. Okay. There's not going to be very many black pieces for her, I don't think. I do love that they come with 3 eyes, by the way. I mean, I know it's because you're supposed to lose one, or you have a spare in case you lose one, but I just find it really funny. All right, we've got some silver pieces for her as well. Obviously, this lime green being the primary color, with brown sort of being the color of her hair, frankly. So let's just move all these into various piles. I wish I gave a spare brain marbles. Oh, I hear you. Watching any good TV lately? You know, I so rarely get a chance to watch TV, but I have watched a little bit of Night Agent season 2. I'm only about 3 episodes in. I really enjoyed season 1, and I'm watching season 2. But honestly, I'm just killing time until the next Formula 1 season begins. I mean, that's we all know that's what I'm really waiting for, and that's weeks away. At that point, probably F1 and the analysis shows will be the bulk of my television watching, along with the new season of Drive to Survive, which actually comes out, I think, very soon. I think before the season of F1 comes out, so I'll get a chance to watch that. Anti scurvy Arwen. Okay, we're almost done sorting. There we go. Yeah, definitely fewer pieces, so there should be no problem. Okay. All right, so let's pull this out here. I'm going to swap the corner here. Forget how to do that. I think I have to close the chat and go to customize that. I want to move that corner to the lower right, I think. There we go. Firefly's always up for a rewatch. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Bonnie, you are amazing. Appreciate you. And again, happy birthday. All right, here we go. We're going to build Arwen. Does she know that we're going to build Arwen? Does Arwen know that we're about to build her, that she's about to be built? Let's find out. And then interesting. Instead of one that's 2 pegs tall, they have a stack 2 single pegs. No reason for that, but okay. Sometimes I think they do that just to increase the piece count. I mean, on Aragorn, we had this exact piece. It was a 1 peg piece that was 2 pegs tall, or 2 cubes tall. And here they just have us build one out of 2 single ones. Yeah, so we mentioned Katie mentioned for who's in it, for why she might want to watch season 2 of Night Agent. So far, he's just a side part, but there's a character that or an actor we both enjoyed in The Expanse, played Marco in Naros. Terrible, terrible bad guy in that show, who in the 2nd season of Night Agent. Which, it's just entertaining television. I'm not going to say it's like super high quality. It's a typical thriller. It feels very much like some of the Bourne films, but like budget Bourne. So. Okay. So looks like something like this so far. Then, wow, this one's coming along pretty quickly. No, on The Expanse. Oh, don't I wish. The Expanse is one of my favorite television shows of all time. That's definitely not second-rate anything. And I'm not saying Night Agent's second-rate. It's just like budget Bourne, really. It's quality, but it's not quite the same. All right, there's 2 of these, and 2 of these. This would be perfect timing. I think we should be done just in time to wrap the stream. This one's moving smoothly. The Expanse is fantastic, and yes, Christian was awesome. Timothy, if you've read the books, you'll know she's even better in the books, and she was amazing in the TV show. Yeah, absolutely my favorite dialogue in that show or in that book belonged to Christian Avasarala. Who I probably can say with safety is one of Katie's favorite characters, or at least favorite actresses. Um, Adam Savage getting a cameo was awesome. Yes. And no spoilers, but he certainly didn't didn't last long on the show. It's very much a cameo. Poof. Yeah, for those who don't know, the chat overlay shows both, but they're not. If you're on YouTube, you would have to be looking at that chat to see it rather than YouTube's own chat, and vice versa. So if you're on Twitch, for instance, you might not have seen your message. That's actually fairly typical and something I'm glad that Restream addresses with its ability to do the chat overlay, but it's tricky because it also means that the viewers have to be looking at that overlay instead of their own app's native chat. All right, here we go so far. Yeah, I agree. And that's why, look, it's no skin off my nose to try to stream to both platforms at once. I suppose there's probably a small advantage in streaming to just YouTube, but I don't care. This isn't about that. It's about community. It's about the opportunity to do more stuff with the PPP family, and that's really all that matters. So, all right, let's see. So we do this twice. This is her arms, just like we did with Aragorn. And again, it's the same thing. Remember, I mentioned this earlier. Like, why are they having me do this with two of those single pegs? Look, it's the same thing here. They're making me use two 1x2s to make a 2x2 when they could have just given me a 2x2. There's really no reason for them not to have done so. Unless perhaps they just don't make 2x2s in that color. That might be the reason they did it now that I think about it. It's not a very common color, I would imagine. Give me Lobelia rescued from the lock holes. I've got to see that one. AIM and IRC. Wow. Now I'm seeing that Captain America meme. I get that reference. So there's one arm. The good news is that she and Aragorn both have short arms, so they're going to be just fine. That means Eldarion barely has any arms at all. That makes sense. Schmegman had to say that. Yeah, just current inventory, what molds they have running. That's fair. And since this is a color that they probably don't make too often, I can understand why this is the one that seems to be the exception, whereas the Aragorn one, when it was, stock gray. Of course, they have a gazillion grays. Another Master Regular makes themselves compatible. Yeah, I think ICQ. I remember ICQ. Those are the old days of communication on the internet. We'll remind you all a little bit of what that was like. Sorry, not sorry. Oh, man. Hey, we like lurkers around here, Schmegman. We do. Lurkers make the world go round, man. And look, once again, a pink 2x2 for the brain. Hello, I'm Arwen. This is my brain. I do love the symbolism of that. How every time we've built one of these, there's a pink 2x2 cube up there. Sorry that your ears hurt, by the way. Oh, man, that sound. All right. Oh, this is going to be a pain in the butt. Because it's dark brown, it's literally almost impossible to see on here. So I'm going to have to do my best, but we've got one of these. One of these and 4 of these. Yes, 4 of these. 1, 2. I don't even see 4 of these. There's one. There must be one more. There it is. Okay. All right. Start with the 2x1 and put one of these here. Then this here. Okay. So this is the top of her head. Yep. Nice shiny brown hair. Oh, I remember the Roadrunner motor. I didn't have one. A friend of mine did. I remember, like, what was that sound? Turgon, always good to remind your boy that he has a father. I need to do that when I get home, actually. All right. My boy just turned 13 this last weekend. It's so hard to believe. So very hard to believe. Now he's in his own room, which is why I'm here, of course. That's the only way that I am here. The only reason that I spent the stupid money on an office was so that he could have his own space. This is where I get to give him the eyes. So good night, Turgon. Good night, Miriam. Two, one, one, and one. Okay. So we start with a 4x1. We put her crown on it. Then we put this in the middle. And these two to the sides. And then we put her eyes and her forehead and her little winglets of hair. Oh, this is like the end of her. Yeah. Okay. And then we put this. This is her face. Oh, we got to put her eyes on. I can't make Arwen cross-eyed. I would feel wrong about that. I'm perfectly fine with Aragorn looking a little wonky. I like his sort of I'm totally lost. But pretty soon everything Alan Dustin says will be an embarrassment to his son. You underestimate pretty soon. All right. Pretty Arwen coming along. Need one of these, 2 of these, and 1 of these. And that's for the side of her head. And her ear. I love it. We get her ear. It's obviously much larger than Aragorn's. Of course, you can't see Aragorn's behind his hair. I don't know what part of her we're building now because you'd think we would be building the opposite side of her hair. Does it not say to do that? It does not. Alas. All right. We'll come back to that. What do we have doing here? We have 2 of these pieces. We're supposed to bring them together. Use a 1x2 to, in the darkness, bind them. Goodness, the dark print here is just so difficult. Okay. So now we do this. This. This must be like the back of her hair, I'm thinking. Then we need a 4x1 and 2 of these. So this goes. Okay. These single ones. Ah! was afraid of that. Go here. This will bind them together a little bit better. 2 more 1x2s. I'm having such a hard time with the illustration. Okay, interesting. So we're supposed to put 1 here and a 2 here. Okay. Yeah, this is the back of her crown because next up is 2 of these. Oh, wrong piece. There we go. And then a single 1x1. Okay. Well, thank you, John. That is very kind. Really appreciate that. It's such a kind thing that people have been doing. I did not expect that coming in because, of course, I've used YouTube, but I've never really done a lot of long streaming, and so it just kind of come as a pleasant surprise. This is the wrong piece again. There's shorter versions of these, and that's what I'm supposed to use. There we go. This is the use of the bigger piece. So this is clearly going to be the back of her head, and sure enough, so that's why we haven't done the other side yet. We're just sort of working our way around. And sure enough, that's what we're doing next. 2 of these, 1 of these, and 1 of these. So we do this. And the 2 peg. Oh, there we go, of course. I'll be right back, folks. All right, thanks for your patience. I will try to figure that out. I'm not sure why that's happening. My the Sony that I use for recording the TTT is off and on for 2 or 3 hours at a time, as I sometimes record a chunk of episodes at the same time. So I'm always a bit surprised that this one keeps shutting down. But see if I can't solve that problem. All right, now we're building the crown on both sides of her head. So we take twice. We're going to take 1 of these, 1 of these, and 2 of each of these, right? I see. So, yeah, so this time it'll be 2 of these pieces. And this one, it'll be 2 of these pieces. Okay. So, like that. And we're putting this on the left side of her head, this side forward. Then on this side, we're doing the same thing. And putting that on this side again with this side. I guess it would be the same either way, wouldn't it? Yep, it's a palindrome. Okay, so now we've finished the crown, or the not the crown, but the circlet, the tiara that goes around her. Except now I'm wondering, is this in the wrong spot? No, it's not actually. I thought maybe this was in the wrong place because it comes down, and I would have thought it would continue straight across. But the illustration clearly shows that it's in the right spot. And in fact, the picture doesn't show the back of her head. Oh, no. All right. Now we make the base, which is straightforward. And folks, we will have accomplished Aragorn and Arwen. There we go. And now we just needed Elrond to look sort of embarrassed to, to say to Arwen, "You go right ahead." You know, I'm working on the episode where they basically have to say goodbye. I'm not sure that that Elrond was thrilled in that moment. Um, yeah, we just, so there they are. There they are. Uh, clearly, he needs to shave and get a haircut. She's looking fantastic in this spring dress from Charnel number 5. That's the perfume she's wearing. Anyway, this was a lot of fun, and she's not carrying anything in her hand. I think we should give her the sword. What do you all think? There we go. There we go. So now we have Aragorn and Arwen, and let's put his sword back because he really should have it. He is the king. So we have Aragorn and Arwen. We have Gandalf and the Balrog, who can't really lay down as easily. And then I've previously, before the PPP plays came along, had built Frodo and Gollum. So the next time that I do Legos, and I'll just switch back over to this now. The next time that I do Legos, I will do the last of these Brickhead sets that I have, which is Legolas and Gimli. And we're going to see if Legolas's little beady eyes can actually see around the curvature of the earth. Hint, they cannot. For those of you who like a good discussion on that, definitely listen to the upcoming Questions After Nightfall, when longtime listener and patron DeMay completely skewers me on that. So yeah, that'll be a lot of fun. But yeah, I will definitely build Lego less next. Yeah, I know. Why is Gollum like adorable? You know, why is he? Because he's Smeagol. We could change the world and take the ring from Frodo's hand and put it in Gollum's. Eat fish 3 times a day. So there we go so far with the Brickheads. There's only the one more to go with Legolas and Gimli. And after that, folks, seriously excited to build Rivendell and to build it with lights. And let me just tell you, that one's probably going to be a multiple week build. I don't think I'm going to be able to build Rivendell in an hour and a half. So that I expect that to take like 6 sessions, maybe. That might be something that like sits on my desk for a very long time. I mean, that thing is huge. This was 261 pieces. And Katie, maybe you could look up and see how big the Rivendell set is. But if 261 pieces took me, 80 minutes, I think we can tell how long the Rivendell kit will take. Oh, and of course I can build the Fell Beast long before I build Rivendell and Barad-dûr if I choose to. If I choose to open that thing that eBay says is worth more money. It's sort of like I don't remember which one of our listeners it was that on the set on the PPP Plays episode stream where I was looking at Magic the Gathering cards, suggested that maybe I don't want to open that booster box, that it's worth quite a bit. Yeah, probably a lot more than I paid for it. But yeah, Katie has just messaged me to say that it has almost 6,200 pieces. Oh man, what is that? Something like 25 times as long. I might have to actually build some of that off camera. Otherwise, it's going to take me a year, and it's going to take way too long. And yeah, so folks, thank you for joining me. Now, this Friday, if the transfer on Lord of the Rings Online has gone smoothly and I'm back in, then we will be enjoying the adventures of Hilburn the River Hobbit on Peregrine, the server, no longer on Landerval. And again, Katie will throw in the invite to the PPP Kinship Discord if you're on Lotro and want to join the kin. But join me Friday either way, whether you play Lotro or not, for the continuing adventures of the Hobbit, the River Hobbit, Hellburn. In the meantime, thanks again for joining me. Have a wonderful evening, and happy birthday to Bonnie, and happy birthday to King Aragorn Elessar. Thanks very much. Good night.